this poor lady was scooped up by some marketing company, some marketing agency, okay? And they said, oh, we can get this big fat girl and put her on a bunch of magazines and put her all over the place, and we can use her to generate sales and money to make other women fat to buy our products. They didn't put this woman like, hey, we really want a champion for fat women. No, they looked at her like, we can use this woman and abuse her and make money off of her. That's the reality of it all.
Experience a setback. What happened after you shared the news?
Well, I wasn't quite expecting it to blow up in the way that it did. I wasn't expecting everyone to talk about it around the world for weeks and months even. It basically caused me to...
overeat. I'm just joking. How's the audio? Is the audio good? Let me know.
Stop taking care of myself in the way that I had been to stop. I stopped feeding myself properly. I kind of got really depressed. I just really regressed into behaviors that weren't healthy for me. And it's even hard to talk about now. I wish that I just would have waited a little bit longer because I wasn't fully prepared. And I also didn't realize when I talked about it that we don't really discuss folks that are experiencing my type of eating disorder in larger bodies, because you look at fat bodies and you just all of a sudden say, well, you're healthy and all you do is sit around and eat. But for the world to say that all I'm doing is sitting around and eat when I'm starving was horrible, because anybody, any size can starve. And we are just conditioned to not care about folks in larger bodies, to just toss us away like we don't belong, like we don't matter. And it's exhausting.
Take me back.
So the truth is this, right? Here's the real problem. She is not upset about anything other than the fact that she is morbidly obese. Okay? Everybody can come and say, okay, like for example, right? I'm going to use myself as an example, right? And I'm going bald, right? It's happening here in the front, right? And I am aware that I'm going bald, right? I'm 36, right? It's not like extreme. I don't look like George Costanza or anything, right? But the corners are going, right? Don't worry, Big Daddy MLD is going to Istanbul, and we're going to get the haircut, the hair transplant in Turkey. I'm going to put that up in a video too, right? But that's like, if everybody came up to me and was like, you have such a luscious, thick head of hair, MLD. Your hairline is strong. You are like Fabio. You are a sexy man. You are looking great. Your hair looks like Troy Francis's hair, right? I would know deep down inside, no matter how many times people told me I am sexy, I have a good hairline, I have all this stuff, I would know deep down inside, my hair is thinning, I'm going bald, and I don't like it. Now, amplify that by millions of voices. Millions of voices. The bottom line is this, okay? Tess Holliday is a victim of some sort of unresolved mental trauma inside of her. And definitely, she does not have a healthy self-esteem and a healthy view of herself, a healthy relationship with herself, right? And so, no matter how many people tell her that she's sexy, she's gorgeous, you're beautiful, internally, she doesn't feel beautiful, okay? That's why you can't love somebody who doesn't feel love from themselves, because no matter what, I mean, you can love somebody if they don't feel love for themselves internally, but they're not going to feel the love. It is going to be a problem, okay? And that's what's happening here. The extreme of Tess Holliday is tons of red flags. Obviously, number one, the morbid obesity, right? Number two is the excessive amount of tattoos, okay? There's a correlation with women who get an excessive amount of tattoos and some kind of trauma. And it is tied to self-mutilation. Self-mutilation is cutting yourself, right? So these girls who constantly get a bunch of tattoos, it is a kind of sick form of self-soothing. It is a way that they kind of release some emotional pain, okay? I have never met an emotionally healthy woman that is covered with tattoos. I have never met one that is like super, totally solid as a human being, unless she's gone through tons and tons and tons of therapy, and that's the exception. That's not the rule, okay? And Tess has both of those.
Before even the reveal to your fans, we had you on the show celebrating Emmy, a landmark plus-size model who was somebody who inspired you. I remember there you are, beautiful and smiling, seemingly happy.
Yeah.
What was going on behind the scenes before this reveal, before the diagnosis even?
Well, during the pandemic, it caused me to slow down like it did most of us. And I started really examining how I was feeding my body or the lack thereof. And I met who I now work with, my dietitian, Anna Sweeney. I met her through a conference that we did, a virtual conference. And I reached out to her and I said, I think I need help. And when I reached out to her, I thought that I was overeating. I thought that I was binge eating. I thought that it was everything but what she said. And about 5 months into our sessions, she said, I can't diagnose you properly, but if I could, I would diagnose you as anorexia nervosa. And I was sitting.
So she is claiming to have anorexia. So anorexia nervosa, I'll just pull it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Do a quick anorexia nervosa. Okay. So you just type it in Google, and that's how you spell it. Anorexia nervosa, definitions with psychology. Let's just go to psychology today. Let's click on this one, okay? Anorexia nervosa is a eating disorder manifested when a person refuses to eat an adequate amount of food or is unable to maintain the minimal weight for a person's body mass index. So obviously she is not suffering for anorexia nervosa in the ability to maintain minimal weight. She is, if I would eyeball it, I think she's probably at least 400 pounds, right? Individuals with anorexia often have a distorted body image. Those with anorexia view themselves as fat or bulky in certain areas and have an intense fear of gaining weight or becoming fat. So this is clearly not her, right? She's not eating enough. So I'll say this, okay? I think there's a Scottish, right? Type it into Google. Scottish man loses weight not eating. Angus Barbieri's fast, okay? Scottish man Angus Barbieri, 1939 to 1990, right? He lived a decent life. Looks like that's 51 years. Not bad for fucking, getting huge like he was. But again, I'm telling you guys, look, there's a reason you don't see fat people walking around, old fat people. They're all dead. All dead. Oh, Billy Huang with a $20 super chat. All right, thank you so much for the direct donation link. Wow, thank you. Appreciate that. Completely forgot I had that activated. Let me go and read it for you real quick. Streamlabs is up and running. Thank you for the big donation, Billy. You are a great guy. Let me read it real quick. But yeah, this guy, this is a true story, okay? This is a true story. So, and again, I'm not trying to demonize or make fun of Tess and her situation, okay? But I'm just pointing out there is a medical flaw here in the argument she's making. But of course she is. She's on mainstream media, television, and let's be honest, the show that she is on is catering to women, and unfortunately,
you have accepted the truth.
The demographic of women that it's catering to are, let's be honest, it's black women, right? And in America, I believe African American women are the most obese women in America. And that's just a whole other fucking can of worms to open. Billy Wong says, Jonathan's breakdowns are great. Crossing my fingers that this episode won't get demonetized because your analysis provides a great service to those willing to listen. Thank you so much, Billy. You're the man.
But if I could, I would diagnoose you as anorexia nervosa. And I was...
Okay, hold on. Let me pull that back. Okay. 2 seconds. Let me... So, here we go. Scottish man Angus Barbieri fasted for 382 days from June 1965 to July 1966. He lived on coffee, tea, soda water, and vitamins while living at home in Tayport, Scotland, and frequently visiting Maryfield Hospital for medical evaluation.
So, you have accepted the truth.
Thank you for subscribing. He lost 276 pounds and set a record for the length of a fast. Now, in addition to this, I don't think it's here on this, but I have seen it, right? As he fasted, guys, he also didn't have loose skin, which is really wild. We can read it quickly. I'll just read it all for you guys. In 1965, Barbieri, the then 27-year-old from Tayport, Scotland, checked into the Maryfield Hospital in Dundee. Initially, only a short fast was planned due to the doctors believing short fasts were preferable to long ones. Barbieri did not believe them, insisting on continuing because he adapted so well and was eager to reach his ideal weight. For 382 days, ending on July 11, 1966, he consumed only vitamins, electrolytes, an unspecified amount of yeast, a sort of all essential amino acids, and zero-calorie beverages such as tea, coffee, and sparkling water. Although he occasionally consumed small amounts of milk and or sugar with the beverages, especially during the final weeks of the fast, he quit working at his father's fish and chip shop, which closed down during the fast. Barbieri's starting weight was recorded at 456 pounds, 207 kilograms, and he stopped fasting when he reached his goal weight of 180 pounds, 82 kilograms. After his weight loss, he moved to Warwick and had 2 sons. So he lost all the weight and he went and fucking got some pussy. Good for him, right? Barbieri died in September 1990. For example, in 1970, here's another record. 1971 edition of Guinness World Book of World Records, Barbieri's fast was recognized as the longest recorded. In 1973, Dennis Galler Goodwin went on a hunger strike for 385 days, but he was force-fed during this period. As of 2016, Barbieri retains the record for longest fast without solid food, according to Guinness officials. Guinness no longer officially endorses records relating to fasting for fear of encouraging unsafe behavior. What a bunch of pussy. I believe he got no stretch marks as well. Or no loose skin. Let me see if there's any images. There he is before and after. You know? I mean, amazing willpower. Amazing willpower. There he is. Look at that. From there, I think Tess Holliday is bigger than him. From there to there. And he didn't die.